Taysom Hill was an interesting tight end play this week, mostly because of the quarterbacking that he did. He threw 2 passes. They were both caught for 80 yards total. He threw for a passing touchdown in this game. He also had 7 carries for 30 yards, finishes the tight end 13, 10.2 fantasy points. And this was the second time since week 5 that Taysom Hill had at least double-digit fantasy points. So he's had some spike weeks throughout the season. You're not depending upon Taysom Hill if you can help it, but here we are, right? Here we are. Taysom Hill as a high-end tight end 2 is how I'm valuing Taysom Hill in that like tight end 12 to 15 range. That's about where my rankings will most likely have Taysom Hill going into week 16 against Cleveland. But if it's going to be a hot mess, the over-under for this game is around 32 points in the game total. So that probably means a lot of rushing for the likes of Taysom Hill out of the Wildcat, just to make sure that the ball is not turned over as much. There's trust given to a player like Hill in conditions like this. And the game is in Cleveland, so they're not protected in the dome. They're going to rely on players like the Alvin Kamara's they'll hand off to. And maybe they'll have a couple big plays to Rashid Shaheed, but ultimately Taysom Hill is that Wildcat wildcard factor. Taysom Hill, that's how I'm valuing him. I'm really riding with Taysom Hill over Juwan Johnson, I think, this week, just because if we expect Taysom Hill to get a lot more of the rushing, more than 7 carries. Hey everyone, if you like the content, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks. There have been games this year where Taysom Hill has had 10 carries, 9 carries, 9 carries. And in those games, 112, 61, and 52 rushing yards with touchdown upside. But Taysom Hill is I think a better play for this week in those types of conditions where he's going to get more touches, I think, than Juwan Johnson in better, safer touches.